Okay, how did we arrive here? Let's turn that layer off. Let's add a new layer and go ahead and get the line tool. Now the line tool, we can click and drag straight across if we want. And how do you make sure it's level? What key do you hold down? You see it right there, Shift, right? Okay, so there's our line. And if you don't have no fill and a black stroke, please go ahead and do that. Now, by default, you should have a 1 pixel line, uniform and basic. What I did is I changed this to this charcoal pencil and then bumped the width up 2 or 3. I think it was 2. I'm not sure. And then positioned it, transform. I positioned it at 0 on the X tab, 5 on the Y. Put it right there. It's 5,000 pixels long, and if we zoom in on this, well, just zoom in so you can see, we have this rough line that shows up. So now, with that line selected, and I'm zoomed in so you can see what's going on, double click on the black arrow on the selection tool. Double click. And we get the move dialog box. And depending on what you did last, these numbers. We don't want to move it horizontally. We want to move it vertically. And we want to move it, say 10 pixels. Tab. And then we want to hit copy. We got preview so we can see how far it's going. And then we hit copy. And that's it. Then Command D, I'm just holding it down, and a little patience. I'm going to zoom Command 0 so we can see the whole thing. I'm not going to Command D all the way down because that would be a real boring video. It does take a little while. I'm going to come over here to this one where I did Command D all the way down. Let's select one of these lines. You can see 2-point uniform, and the brush definition is this charcoal pencil. Once you've got that, make sure no other layer is active. We're going to go Command A, copy it, Command A to select all, Command C to copy, and then we're going to jump over to Photoshop and Command N to get a new document. Photoshop's going to have to think for a second because, oh my goodness, what is that guy bringing in? And yeah, it's a little long and it didn't end up 5,000 square. That's just fine. That's okay. Click OK, and then Command V to paste, and it doesn't matter. We're going to merge down. Hit return to place that, and then Command E to merge down. I'm going to undo Command Z. I think you can right click on this and say merge down. I don't know. I've been using these shortcuts. There it is. Merge down. Okay. And then merge visible and flatten image and all that stuff. So now it's not a smart object. It's just on the background. So what good is that? Edit, define pattern. This time it's not a brush, it's a pattern. We're going to go ahead and do that, and I've already named one, so I'll just leave this as pattern 1 because I have a properly named one. Let's come over here and we'll trash this layer. Yep. And we'll add a new layer on there, and then fill. Command delete, edit, fill, but it's Command delete. Remember that? Ignore that, because remember, Shift delete to fill, Option delete to fill with foreground, Command delete to fill with the background, Shift delete fills with, and this is remember in a pattern because we had 50% gray selected last time. We select a pattern and our custom fill. This is the one we just made, which should be called pattern 1. There it is, pattern 1. So you can see I'm not using any tricks. Click OK, and oh, isn't that lovely? Well, remember, we have to change the blending mode. You can cycle through these things with holding down Shift and hitting the plus sign to go forward. The minus sign goes backwards the way you came. I'm going to come on down, and you can check all these out to see what you like. I went ahead and selected overlay because it's not drawing lines across most of the white. It is affecting where there are pixels and creating, in my opinion, some visual interest. A little strong, so I backed off the opacity a little bit just to see what the before and after was. And this is just one of an infinite number of examples of how you might creatively use Illustrator to enhance Photoshop documents. And there's no end to this. I want you to experiment, to try crazy things, and to document your process. Don't be like me. Don't have unnamed layers. Spend some time, name things, leave yourself breadcrumbs so you can reproduce. You don't want to end up with something absolutely incredible that you cannot reproduce. You have no idea how you got there. It's a joy to create something that just blows your socks off, but it's painful not to be able to do it again. You want to be able to keep adding tools to your arsenal and making images like this, Command 0. There's a foggy day on the Golden Gate Bridge, standing right below one of these towers, and the fog is covering up the towers up there. It's making the cables disappear. Absolutely gorgeous. Think to take pictures like this. Don't just take a picture standing a half a mile away from the Golden Gate Bridge. Go out on it. What can you discover? Look at these rivets. Look at how cool all this stuff is. Have fun. Can't wait to see what you create.